This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
I'm Katie Rammel with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Another powerful round of monsoon storms hitting Arizona again today. A mobile home park in Globe hit by wind and rain, leaving behind incredible damage. We spoke with a mom of three who, despite the flooding inside her home, was just as concerned for her neighbors.
This is not something I would want my worst enemy to go through at all. It's miserable, it's sad, and it's not anything anybody wants. And I feel horrible for them, their animals, kids, lost everything as well.
Another startling image coming out of Globe tonight. The 60 between Globe and Miami totally underwater. The highway shut down after being covered by flash flooding. It is back open now, but this has now happened multiple times in that very same area. And part of the reason the flooding is such a serious issue in Flagstaff and in Globe are the burn scars nearby. In 2019, Flagstaff had the museum fire and the telegraph fire hit Globe earlier this summer. Our Impact Earth team previously spoke to an expert at Arizona about this, and he says as climate change makes monsoon storms extreme, areas where wildfires have dried out the ground are going to be an even greater danger.
That totally changes the characteristics of the permeability of the soil. Then when it rains, that water will immediately wash off, very similar to like a landslide. And so it's just compounding risk upon risk.
Well, it's official. Starting next month, all Americans who've been vaccinated, not just those who are immunocompromised, will be able to get their COVID-19 booster shots. A White House making the recommendation this morning, saying the original vaccines appear to become less effective over time and need help dealing with the Delta variant.
I want to emphasize that this decision was not made lightly. It was made with careful consideration by the top medical and public health experts in the Department of Health and Human Services.
The first booster shots will be given the week of September 20th for those who received the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines back in December and January. The U.S. Surgeon General says he expects a booster recommendation for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will come out as well, but they're still working on the details on that. Health officials emphasizing being vaccinated at all makes you safer, and there's still work to be done on Arizona's vaccination rates. Right now, about 67% of all eligible Arizonans have gotten their first dose, while about 59% are considered fully vaccinated. When it comes to our other coronavirus numbers, 2,400 new cases added today, a little lower than the trends we've seen over the past few days, but we're still seeing an increase in new deaths. Sadly, 37 reported in today. In Afghanistan, Americans and Afghans fearing for their lives, still desperately rushing to evacuate. The U.S. has flown out about 2,000 people in the past 24 hours, but now the embassy in Kabul is warning U.S. citizens they cannot guarantee their safety when they're trying to get to the airport. This comes as violence is starting to break out on the streets. The Taliban reportedly opening fire on groups of protesters in several cities. Here in the U.S., lawmakers on both sides of the aisle now calling for an investigation into how the Biden administration executed the withdrawal from Afghanistan and how the Taliban was able to take over so quickly.
Obviously, there was no plan in place to deal with getting our own people out and getting the Afghan interpreters and others who worked with us out of harm's way. Utter disaster, what we're all witnessing.
House Democrats slated to hold a hearing early next week, while Senate Democrats are planning to hold hearings when they return from their August recess.
Well, it's been a wild day with heavy rain and flash flooding across our state. I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. Low pressure passing to our north will keep those storm chances going into tonight, but we are going to see some drier air come in behind it from the west as we head into tomorrow. And yet another low pressure system passing up through the Pacific Northwest, a third coming in through the weekend. And so overall, the wind pattern is going to keep drier air coming in from the west and southwest here across our state. So we're drying the forecast out, but by by the middle of next week, high pressure could realign and maybe bring those storm chances back to some parts of Arizona. In the meantime, a little break from the monsoon here in the valley with sunshine in the forecast tomorrow. Temperatures in the 70s to start the day and 90s throughout the afternoon. So still running well below normal for this time of year. We'll keep highs in the upper 90s as we head into the weekend. And then the triple digits will be back starting Sunday. By the end of your 7-day, temperatures back up near normal with 105 in that forecast on Wednesday.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head to abc15.com or download our free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.